Hello, my lovies, my lovers of the world. All right, we got a new one today, and it's full of information. I'll try to make it fun, but it's a lot of stuff. So, good news, love is the new black with Sister Donna. Let's get started. Okay, love is the currency of the kingdom. It's non negotiable. Can't get around it. Love God, love your neighbor as yourself. It's kind of like three. But that's it. It's about love. And it's what the kingdom is going to run on. It's non negotiable. I remember I worked at one school and they had like 50 non negotiables. You only have three. Let's get started. Love one another. That's foundational. It's part of God's ecosystem. So if I develop my gifts and my fruit, and then I'm generous enough to give to someone else, I'm feeding someone else. And then they are doing something that feeds another person. Someone else doing something that feeds me. But if someone is not generous or hasn't bothered to cultivate their gifts or their skills, it throws everything off, throws some things off. So let's look at our scripture, John 13:34 through 35. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this all men know that ye are my disciples, and ye have love one to another. So he's basically saying people know that you belong to me, you're one of my people, one of my disciples, if you're loving one another. So you have to represent him properly. Number 2, as he prepares for the new kingdom here on earth, the kingdom should be a reflection of his heavenly kingdom. So if he's loving folk in heaven, when the kingdom comes to earth, what do you think it should look like here? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Matthew 6:10. So if you go in prayer and talk to the Lord about it, you'll find that at some point we all are going to be here on earth and we have to be living love. Okay. Number 3, if you don't operate in love, you won't get an invitation to the party. So, at this point, I don't know where you're going to go, but if all of the earth is kingdom and you're not on kingdom, where are you going to be? Sit in the corner somewhere, not being loving? Okay, so I hope you can see this one. 1 Corinthians 13:2. Although I have the gift of prophecy, I can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge. And if I have all faith so that I can remove mountains, but have not charity or love, that's what it's called, I am nothing. You're not invited, even if you can move a mountain with your faith. If you don't have love, God's going to say, get it moving, get your step. All right, so the name of the game at this point is judgment and accountability. I mean, that's important. You're not going to be able to run on somebody's coattail. You can't be like, oh, my husband gave something to you. Don't ask me. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You have to You have to give an account to yourself. So Romans 14:12. So then every one of us shall give an account for ourselves to God. And when I was preparing this, God reminded me of a funny story. Um, this is when I was a kid, and you know how you go out with your friends' parents and stuff. So I went out with one of my friends' parents. We went to like a restaurant, ice cream shop, or whatever. So, the fathers are like, oh, I need more of this, I need more of that. Have you filled up my ice and all this other stuff? Went through all that. It's time for the bill. He left the tip on the table and walked away. She circled back and took the tip off the table. I saw that. I was like, what is going on? I was I was young enough to be like, I think something's wrong with this. I wasn't sure. And I was like, Mama. She said, don't you do that, miss. So, even if you used to playing good cop, bad cop, and all this other stuff, each one of you, you have to be accountable for how you are living and how you are loving. And if there's something that you have a challenge with, like, I know for me, I have a challenge with saying loving words to people. I talk about love languages and stuff like that. I have no problems with action and, that kind of thing. But that's my challenge. So, you just talk to the Lord and say, you know what? I'm not real good at blah, blah, blah. And, it's like going to the teacher and say, well, I don't understand page 5. And when you're in prayer and you talk to the Lord about these things, He'll help you. Like I was thinking to myself, I had everything covered, right? And I helped out one of my clients. And she says, Donna, I just love you. And I went, like I stumbled on my words because I'm just not good at the love language thing. And right after I stumbled, I said, Lord, I need help with this one. I need a fight. It's probably the reason that He brought it to my attention. So we have our workbook. Our first chapter is God is Love. And the other thing I'm going to make sure we talk through is prayer. The way that you can converse with God to get these things through. Because at this point, God explained to me that He is making the harvest come faster. So something that you do, He's going to make that harvest come to you faster. So if you're doing something that's not that great, you're going to see that harvest fast, just like anything else. But the good thing about seeing a negative harvest is that it's an opportunity for course correction. Now, before you have something hitting in your face for course correction, like He showed me, that I'm not real good at the love language thing, you talk about it and say, well, how do I handle this? I'm not real good at this, So now's the time. He's getting us ready for the party. You talk to Him about the things that you're struggling with. But ultimately, it's all about love. And we'll talk more about it. How do I demonstrate it? How do I do these little things? So we'll keep working on it. Bye for now. Good luck this week. Thanks for watching. And as usual, leave your testimony in the comments. We want to hear about your challenges. We want to hear about your successes. Please be sure you're talking to the Lord about your challenges, though. That's really important. So we're also going to be working on our prayer challenge out of our workbook. And this is God is Love, the principal thing. This is the author's copy. That's why it's got this band on it. Walking in the currency of the kingdom. That's what we're doing. We're walking in it. So join us for our walk and our lessons. And I'm going to be posting that prayer challenge very shortly. Have a great week. Be blessed.